How do you make and sell NFT art? So we're going to talk about that specifically. How could you do it right there from your own home? Number one, we're going to talk about how do you make the art. We're going to talk then number two about how do you research the project, right? And how do you research some of the people behind the project to make sure it's not a scam? And then the big one, which is how do you sell it and when do you sell it? Let's begin. This is part 3 of a 4-part series with Nathan Johnson, an expert in NFT, in fact, a millionaire at 21. I met him at 13 years old, helped him make his first money, and he has never looked back on being an amazing entrepreneur. So let's tune in. How to make and sell NFT art. So I am back on our 4-part series with Nathan Johnson, who is an expert in Web 3.0. He's an expert in actually doing online advertising. I have to tell this little story. When Nathan was 13, I bought, and I think you're 21 now? I bought like an Instagram package from him at my 3 days to cash way back in the day in Salt Lake City. I think, I don't know, you made thousands of dollars as a 13-year-old. So you've been in this. You've been in this for a little minute, right? Yeah. You just have a knack for it. So I appreciate that you just stayed the course and became an expert. So now also an NFT expert and helping with our launch. So let's talk about how do you really, make and sell art? How do you even get into it?
Yeah, so NFT art is very easy for anyone to get into. It's centered around compensating artists and creators properly. That's why I love NFTs so much. When you think of if you are a musician, typically the label takes 50 to 80% of all of your album sales. And those are just one-time sales. If you made an NFT album, your album was an NFT, you can take 80% of it because you would make it. All you have to do is pay a developer and an artist to make the art for your album and then upload it. And that's all you have to do. And you get royalties on every sale of your album for the rest of your life. And I think it's scary for these big record labels and these larger companies. Same thing with tickets. We're already seeing it with the Dallas Mavericks. They have every time you go to a game, you get an NFT version of a ticket, and it's directly through Ticketmaster. And they make a wallet for you because they don't want you to have to worry about how do I make a wallet. They just make one for you. So the best way to get in is just think of something that you enjoy, whether it's in art or it's in music or NFT is obviously centered around having some kind of artwork or having some kind of utility. So create an idea in your head of what that might be. The easiest way to get artwork done is either you hire designers who are great with NFT artwork, or you can make your own. Gary V's NFT V Friends was him drawing on a white piece of paper and then basically uploading that to his computer and uploading that to OpenSea. Yeah. So it can be as easy as that, or it can be as complicated as having a graphic designer make 3D renders of your own NFT and then uploading all of those and, going through a Python script to randomly generate 10,000 versions of your original drawing. So
for example, I just want to show this, right? So this is going to be one of our Millionaire Lions, and it's part of a charity also from some women who do this art, and they come to my events for now almost 2 years. And I love the lions, so we'll have a lion collection. So I think the art's an interesting part. Talk about the utility behind it, because and when the difference between just selling the art versus putting utility and what that means to people.
Yeah, so art has different value to each person. That's why some people look at a Picasso painting and say that it's worthless, and others say it's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right.
So art is a great way to or your personal preference is a great way to value NFT art. If you like it and you think the price justifies how much you like it and you want to own it verifiably on the blockchain, then why not? If that's what you want to do. For me, I pay more attention to utility because I'm not as big into artwork. I'm more so logic or numbers or how is it going to benefit my, let's say, $1,000 investment? What benefit am I getting out of that?
Right.
So utility is going to be your benefits of holding the NFT. So what are they giving you for holding? Like, it's like dividends. In stocks, you have dividends. In NFTs, you have your utilities, which might be you get an airdrop every month directly to your wallet of 10% of the value of your NFT, or you get I saw a project the other day that was making a casino in the metaverse. And if you mint an NFT, one NFT is 0.01% stake in the casino's earnings. So if you minted 10 of them, then obviously you have a larger percentage. And it was a great way for people to earn passive income. It's going to be very low, but that is a reason for people to hold. And it gives them.
But are they going to, so in that casino project, I would assume it'll be a lot of online gaming, and they'll share some of the revenues through the online gaming casino, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So you get access to the casino, you get a percentage of whatever profit the casino makes. And it's a great investment for, or not so much an investment. It's a great idea for the project owners, because it's encouraging people to gamble with them because they feel like they have a interest or they have a reward at the end of the day. Because, well, even if I lose all my money gambling here, at least I get my percentage at the end of the day. And that's a very it's a mindset tactic. It changes the way that people view losing money into from a negative to a positive. So great business move on their part.
Talk about where to sell. So you come up with your art idea, utility or not. Where do you sell it? How do you sell it?
Yeah, so the most popular place to sell NFTs is obviously OpenSea. You can create your own collection on OpenSea, list and upload your NFTs directly, and then start an auction or just name a buy it now price. And then you can send that link out to people. You can share it on social media. You can advertise it on Instagram. And in turn, you might get some sales. It might be a little harder. You might have to make another collection and see exactly what people like. I mean, it's very much a new market, and you have to test what works and what doesn't. And maybe somebody likes your favorite idea, or maybe somebody hates your favorite idea and loves your least favorite idea. The best thing to do is to just upload it and see what sticks, right? So that being said,
there's get its first price. For us, I'll just kind of share what we're doing with our lions. We're going to have 4 different lions. One's going to be 100, one's going to be 500, one's going to be 1,000, one will be 10,000. That'll move to 15 but we're only got 50 of those. So we're putting, our utility is buying like one-on-one time with me for the 10,000, or each of them will have a various amount of books that they're going to get as part of our book launch. They're going to get some of our courses and things like that. So that's what we're doing to create the utility, and we know where we're going to sell it. We're going to put it out on OpenSea. I mean, it's going up, over the weekend this week. So how, when people create a value to it, how does that part, you just like where do you put it up? You said if you put it on Instagram, maybe walk us through. Somebody does a post and introduces their new project on Instagram. How does it move through to OpenSea? Do people have to pay with Ethereum? Kind of talk us through really more grit.
Yeah. So, assigning value to an NFT depends on obviously rarity. So if there's only one of them versus if there's 10,000 of them, that one's going to be more valuable.
Yep.
Based on the utility. So if sometimes the rarer NFTs get more exclusive utility. So a great example is if you have a one of one in your collection, that person gets to fly on a private jet with you to vacation, right? But then if you mint one of 10,000s, then you obviously don't get that benefit. So things like that help you assess value. Also, just you putting a personal value on your work, that alone can tell you what you want to price the NFTs at. And at the end of the day, most NFTs are going to be in Ethereum, on the Ethereum blockchain through OpenSea. OpenSea has talked about rolling out support for Solana NFTs. So Solana is a completely separate network, completely separate token. And Solana has been picking up in popularity because they have very low transaction fees. So Solana is a little harder for people to get into though. So Ethereum is still the number one and is the easiest for people to access. And that's where I would stick if you're into NFTs.
And so let's talk a little bit. We have a little bit of time left. How would you market one? So somebody comes up with a project, an idea, they get some traction on Instagram, they get it up on OpenSea. How do you market it? And then, create some resale value. How do you keep the value high?
Yes. So the best way to market it is just spread the word in any way you can. Reach out to cryptocurrency pages, business pages, NFT pages, and let them know this is my NFT drop, whether it's via paid advertising or, giving them an NFT for free to post about it. Things like that are very powerful. Doing Twitter spaces, which are live streams on Twitter where that people can join. Those are huge in the crypto space right now. Getting massive names in cryptocurrency to back your project or show interest in it. It's a great proof of concept. But at the end of the day, it's all about how you present it to people. If you present it as something this is a desperation thing and you're begging people to post about it, then they're not going to be as confident in your idea. But if you approach the biggest crypto influencer and they give you a price and you scoff at it because you feel as if your project deserves to be posted for free, that's how great it is. Carrying that confidence with you, eventually somebody will admire that and say, you know what, I think they have something here. And as for keeping resale value high, it's a marketing thing. Again, it's marketing now. Instead of marketing the fact that you should buy one, you're marketing the fact that this is why it's so effective for holders to continue to hold. So these are our utilities. If you bought one, if you would have listened when we said that, this project is dropping, you might want to take a closer look at it.
Yep.
If you would have listened, then you would be up 100% on your investment, and you would have already gotten access to this utility, and this airdrop that they did already. So things like that are massive, just spreading the knowledge as much as you can.
But really, marketing is the key to keeping the value and the excitement on your project.
Yeah, marketing and delivering on your utility.
So are there projects that have just a huge spike? I mean, I'm sure how many projects, right, is probably a better question, have had like a great launch and then immediate drop off. Is that norm? Is that average? What's, is that rare all the time?
Unfortunately, in the NFT space, that is normal. You have a drop and then the secondary market tanks. That is, unfortunately, it's the result of people just trying to make a quick buck, living off of the hype of a project. So if they see that a project is going to sell out, they're going to buy one, let's say for 0.1 ETH, and they're going to try and sell it for 0.3. And if at some point it drops below 0.3, they might freak out and sell it for 0.2. And then somebody else might freak out and start selling for 0.1. And then somebody will freak out and sell for 0.01. And it's a mess. So the best thing for people to do is don't go into a project trying to flip it. If you are investing in it, then invest for the long term so that those drops in prices don't affect your mindset. Just like how the stock market takes healthy dips and healthy corrections. It's the same with NFTs. A lot of projects do take dips, but it's not about how bad the dip was. It's about how well they recover from that dip. And that will show you how strong a project is.
Interesting. We're going to put an end to this conversation, but we have one more, our fourth of our 4-part series with Nathan Johnson, an NFT expert. And we're going to continue that emotional arbitrage. We're going to talk about that in our next series. So thanks for staying tuned. So if you're enjoying this, for as little as $100, you can be in my NFT project. I cannot wait. In the link below, makeyourkidsmillionaires.com. You can get a book on how I made my kids millionaires and learn a little bit about how we did our NFT and our art, which you can see here on the pictures. And I want you to share this. Like if you are out here and you're younger and your parents need to get involved, share, hit the subscribe button. Always click that bell to notify you that tomorrow morning we're doing part 4 and I need you here. Before you leave though, before we exit this video for today, I want you to click on the link. I want you to take the quiz. If you haven't been there, you haven't done it, it takes a few seconds. It tells you which of the 4 financial personalities you are. It's followed up by an application, and that application will give you an opportunity to really talk to one of my senior team members, and we'll see how we can help you. I want you to start in NFT investing today. It's the newest asset class and you need to begin. Talk to you tomorrow.